All right. Let me write it down. The timestamp make our lives a little easier later. The AFC South, Gerardo. What do you have going on here?
This is, to me, though, arguably one of the worst divisions in football right now.
Except you have 3 teams with 5+ wins.
Oh no, I do, but it's still not going to be pretty football. Like, I think this is the definition of mid. This is the most mid division that there is. The Texans are going to win by default because I think the rest of we already talked about the Colts and their whole Anthony Richardson situation. They are a good team, so I think at least Daniel Jones gets them to minimum 7 wins this year. Like, I think that if he's completely healthy and everything goes right for the Colts, it's a 7-win team at minimum. CJ Stroud and the Texans, I think it's just their division to lose. They supposedly improved their offensive play calling. They got rid of their offensive coordinator, and they are a very greatly led team in the sense D'Amico Ryans is knowing exactly what to do with this team. They have Nico. They also got themselves Menchie is back. I believe he survived leukemia. I believe that's what he had.
No, Menchie got traded.
Oh, well, there we go.
I believe to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, God bless. They still got Nico, and they still got their running back Joe Mixon is still on the squad, and Nick Chubb as well too. So they do have Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is the one I was.
Jaden Higgins.
That was their Iowa State guy that they got in the second round. So they have improved their offense. We've got a better offensive coordinator. I just also think that when it comes to other divisional leaders, I think the Texans are only better than one team in the NFL when it comes to the division leaders, and that is Tampa Bay. So if you're looking across the board of winning the division, I think the Texans are the second worst team. So they're not better than the Bills. They're not better than the Ravens. They're not better than Chiefs. They're not better than Eagles, and etc. So when I put into perspective in head-to-head matchups, like if I were to, would the Texans beat the Ravens out of 5 games? No, they'll probably only beat 1 game. If that. So I just think that the Texans are they're capped at, they could win 12 games, but like, I also think that they cannot go head to head against other notable, very good teams in this league. The Titans, I'm really buying into Cam Ward.
Yeah, it seems that.
I think Cam Ward is a legitimately great player. Like, I fully think that he is rebounding that team significantly. I think he's an unbelievably talented guy. Him, Calvin Ridley as well, too, on that offense. I think they are going to look unbelievably fun this year. 8 wins is very high. But at the same time, my biggest caveat to that to a lot of people is this: look what Jaden Daniels did with the Commanders. Did anybody think that he was going to be that good that soon?
And no, but I also think Terry McLaurin is closer to a legitimate stud than Calvin Ridley is at this point.
Yes, I would also agree with that too. But I think that Cam Ward is in that same ilk. Like, I think also ironic that also when you win the Heisman, you're now like a legitimate NFL player in the NFL. But I think I love Cam Ward. I love everything out of that camp. I think it's in the great direction. If you were to tell me that this team also only won 4 games, I'd believe it as well too. The Colts already kind of touched on that situation. They are a very solid team. And with the Daniel Jones situation, I think maybe they'll go 9 wins at best. But I think there's no wild card team out of this division. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is, we are now in the conversation. If they win only 4 games this year, as I predicted, is Trevor Lawrence a bust? We are going to be having those conversations, but they have Brian Thomas. They have ETN. They also have the really good second running back as well, too, number 4. It's that offensive line is also same thing. Like, I just do not believe in young quarterbacks with bad offensive line. History has always told me that. There's a reason why David Carr was never successful with the Texans. I also same that with the Jaguars, the same thing with the Bears. I just don't like when a team does not protect its most important asset. And that's why I have them going 4-13.
All right. My AFC South. Not okay. I was about to say not terribly different, but there's a little bit of difference here for sure. Texans 9-8. We can talk about the weapon. It's very similar to Chicago. We can talk about the weapons all we want, but that offensive line is going to be a huge handicap for them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think 9-8 is about as good as it gets this year for them. Jaguars at 6-11. Like you can make a case for any of these teams to finish second. I'll hear you. Titans going 8-9 was a little strong for me. I am not a big Cam Ward guy, but I believe in Cam Ward more than I believe in a lot of other quarterbacks around the league. So you could easily sway me. But the Jaguars at 6-11, I just think they have a lot of talent up and down the roster. Liam Cohen, I think, is an idiot. Like I don't believe in him, but in any means, like I think he's corny. I think it's Mike McDaniel-esque, but at least Mike McDaniel has kind of a charm. Liam Cohen, he has no charm, no aura, no riz, none of that. He is just a dork. And some guys are just meant to be coordinators. You can tell early on, I think Liam Cohen's going to be that. But this division is so bad. They can sneak out six wins. No problem. There are going to be more questions than answers coming out of this team. You can see 6-11 like, oh, not that bad. Nope. When the end of the season comes, and if this is exactly the scenario that it is, and they're second place with 6 wins, there's going to be a lot of questions about Trevor Lawrence still. Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Braxton Strange, Trevor Etienne / Tootin / Tank Bigsby. Like that's a solid offense as far as like talent goes. And on defense, they don't have super bad talent there, I don't think. Like what's his name that got taken first overall? Trayvon Walker has made significant improvements over the years.
Josh
Hines Allen, yep.
And then their linebacker too, they got Lloyd, right? I think
Devin Lloyd, yep. Eric Armstead is there. Maybe a little washed. Oh, he's like injured too. Like there's some weird stuff going on in Giants camp with him. Tyson Campbell, I think, is a really good corner.
Yep.
Like this is a fine team. It's
a team of a lot of potential. It's a team of a lot of potential. Like this is a team that you probably played Madden with and stuff like that, because it's just like you have a lot of high ceiling players. The problem is the main thing is no offensive line for me. And also, like you said, it's just cornball head coach. Like it's hard for me to rally behind, like to believe that players rally behind guys like him and Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel had the team early.
He did.
I don't know if Liam Cohen will ever have this team.
Yeah.
And especially with that like GM who looks younger than me.
Yeah, that's also the thing too. It's just kind of like the believability that these players are going to have with, because when it goes wrong, guess what the players are going to do? Is just doubt the head coach, because they're not going to believe anything the coach is going to say. Like there's a reason why guys like Dan Campbell are very, like I think Liam Cohen and Mike McDaniels can out scheme Dan Campbell by a mile, but I just think Dan Campbell commands respect in his locker room, and I think respect goes a long way with the head coach. That's why I just.
Yeah, there's a certain point where the scheme stops winning games and the culture does. As far as the Titans, 4-13, you might look at that and go like, what the hell's wrong with them that they're 4-13 bad? Rookie quarterback. I'm not a believer in that head coach Brian Callahan. The running backs, Tony Pollard, I don't love. Tyjae Spears, I don't love. The receivers outside of Calvin Ridley are aggressively mediocre, if not bad. Are we really believing in Chigakonko as a tight end 1 in Big 2025? I'm not. Just up and down this roster, I have a hard time finding where the big production is going to come from on both sides of the ball. Jeffrey Simmons, still a really good player on the defensive side, but outside of that, like, are you really expecting like legit? Like L'Jarius Sneed is cool and fine. A lot of people wanted him when he was traded in 2024. Is he like that lockdown, one of the best corners in the game kind of guy? I don't think so. Is Tavondre Sweat this awesome nose tackle? I'm not quite sure. Is Tyler Lockett going to be productive still in 2025? I don't know. Seattle just let him go for Cooper Kupp. And Van Jefferson is good for is very Gabe Davis-esque. He's good for a random big game, but quiet
he'll pop
the
off,
rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I find a hard time finding the production with this team. And then the Colts, again, we just sung Daniel Jones's praises. Why do I have him at 4-13? Because I think Anthony Richardson is going to come back in, and it's going to be a bad time. So
100%.
They're better than 4-13 on paper, and if they make the right decisions, they could easily be where the Jaguars are at 6-11. But I'm just out.
Seeing your prediction, I'm 100% more agreeing. If you were to tell me that all these teams can, I think the Texans are clearly by default the winners, but the rest of the teams could all just only win 4 games, and I would be okay with that.
Any of those teams could finish second.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the most competitive division in the ugliest way possible. Who's going to be last place here? Who is going to be the ugly kid at this dance? It could all go wrong too. Like I said, CJ Stroud has regressed already in 2 years. What if he just never gets any better than his rookie year? Then all of a sudden, almost every team in this division could split games head to head with each other.
I think that might be what I had.
True. Yeah, that's what I think. I just think that I had the Titans more on top. I think the Titans would probably edge out the Colts from time to time. Especially if you think Anthony Richardson's going to come back. I got Cam Ward beating him twice a year. But I do think, I agree with you on the fact that where's your production coming from? And then also outside of the Colts, there's no good offensive line in this division.
Nope.
The Colts are the only one, and they kind of win by default. They have a decent offensive line. They have a really good, I'd say a top half in this league, but you got to protect your assets. And I really don't like when a team doesn't do that, because historically it's never worked out every single time. Especially that in this division, it's outside of Daniel Jones, one of the youngest divisions for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And every single one of them hasn't been in the NFL for long. And so when you're making them make quick decisions because of a bad offensive line, I think you're going to receive poor play from that.
That statement only makes me more excited to see what guys like Drake May and Caleb Williams have once they're protected.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's historically it's always the only time that it hasn't was Joe Burrow. Relatively.
Yeah, I think people are going to start coming around on, hey, Joe Burrow might be the greatest college quarterback or the greatest NFL prospect in the last 10 to 15 years instead of Trevor Lawrence.